Hello, everyone. Dennis Prager here with Fireside Chat number
327.
327. I got a call from a very dear friend who lives in New York City. And I was a bit surprised because it was pretty late here, which meant that it was 3 hours later. I live in California. And it was 3 hours later in New York. So he was calling at about 1 a.m. his time. I'm always up at 1 a.m. my time, but I love the night. And he goes to bed at normal times. So I go, is everything okay? He goes, yeah, that's why I'm calling. I go, what are you talking about? Is everything okay with you, Dennis? So I was thinking, is everything okay with me? And I was thinking, what did he possibly hear? My life is quite blessed. He goes, I'm watching the news and I see these horrible storms in California. How are those rains affecting you? So I thought for a moment and I said, it's raining. That's it. That's all it's doing. It's raining. He goes, oh, I'm watching these things and I'm seeing these horrible storms and I'm seeing cars in water. And so let me just reflect on that for a moment, because this is a very long-standing theme in my life. How people are affected by media in bad ways. I tell the story. I wrote a book. I'm jumping here, forgive me. I wrote a book in the 1990s called Think a Second Time. It contains 44 essays that I wrote on 44 subjects. It's a really good introduction to my thinking about life, because it's about all different subjects: religion, happiness, politics, everything. So one of them is about the impact of media. And this is really a while ago. So we're talking now 25 years ago. So I tell the story. It made such an impact on me. I was in New York City, and I broadcast from my New York station, and then I headed on that day to a speech I was to give that evening in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is right over the border from Philadelphia. So went to bed. I don't remember if I even was aware of this. I woke up in the morning. I saw that it was, light snow, a couple of inches of snow on the ground. I grew up in New York. I'm totally used to snow, and a couple of inches means nothing. I turn on the radio, and station after station is warning people, don't drive unless it's an emergency. And there will be a disaster on the roads. If you must drive, go hours early. And I remember entering that famous state of mind called cognitive dissonance. On the one hand, there was the radio, and on the other hand, I looked out my window. Cars were driving. Everything seemed normal, except it was snowing. Wasn't blizzard snowing, just snowing. But anyway, I was influenced by the radio report, and I left early. And I thought my trip to Cherry Hill, basically Philadelphia from Manhattan, would take me at least 4 hours. Anyway, I got on the New Jersey Turnpike, and there were no cars. And the road was basically clear. I got to Cherry Hill in record time, because I had gone to Philadelphia from New York many times. And I remember I thought, wow, everybody got so influenced by the reports. They avoided driving, and I had the New Jersey Turnpike to myself. So I went to a bookstore. Some of you may have never seen a bookstore, but at that time they were still many bookstores. So I went to a bookstore in Cherry Hill. It was empty. I was the only customer. And I said to the woman who ran the bookstore, I said, how come is this normal for there be no customers? And she said, no, not at all. But people watch the news or listen to the news, and then I'll never forget, she opened my eyes. So let me take a moment to tell you, as I do each week, that because we don't trust big tech not to bump us off at some point, unfortunately, we have reason to fear that. We want to have everybody watch the Fireside Chat straight away at PragerU, to start watching it just at PragerU. But if you're watching it now on any social medium like YouTube, we'll ask you to go immediately over to PragerU to see the rest of the Fireside Chat, prageru.com, and best, get the PragerU app. It's the easiest way to watch all of our content.